Hey, what's up, everybody? Chris back with CAC Knives here with a very exciting knife unboxing video for you today. We have another knife here that was done by Colin. I'm actually having a lot of knives done by him. Expect to see two more on the channel done in the near future. But anyway, before we get into this unboxing, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel if you like these kind of crazy custom knives, I would really appreciate it. Also, if you're ever wondering, these keychains, sometimes I wear them as necklaces and stuff. These are done by Keybar. I don't know if Keybar still does these things, but they're pretty cool. Pretty cool little gimmicks. But little gimmicks, little charms, little chains. I wear them as necklaces and stuff or on my keychain. So, but yeah, this is the Twosun Model TS45. It says M3. That stands for M390. That is the blade steel. And I did check before this video, these are still available on White Mountain Knives for $105. Me and Colin bought one for his page, got them for $85 after the code. Now that would be a little over $95. So they have gone up a little bit. Still a crazy good price though for full tie and M390. And you guys are about to see mine is not basic full tie, and we got his card. So this is him, Colin's Crazy Creation. He does a lot of nutty anodizing, and oh my goodness, look at this. I specifically requested on this a few different things, but I kind of wanted him to go as crazy as he's ever gone in a sense, and my goodness, did he do that. Sorry, the paper's really loud. There it always is. Wow, look at this. Oh my goodness, there's so much going on here. We got the kind of gold as the background. We got green and purple interchanging in all these little slots here. You just move it around and it just changes as the light goes on. Let's look at the back here. You got some gold strips and some kind of base finishing there. And you got some of the same things going on here. Now, we're gonna whip out this cool M390 blade, which has, this knife has a very unique look. It's a very big knife. I don't know if you can fully tell that or not. Unfortunately, I don't have a knife sitting beside me to compare it to at the moment, which is pretty wild. But you know, you can even tell just by the charms here how big this knife is. You know, it's a pretty big knife. Here's my Kaiser challenge coin. But anyway, it's a pretty large size knife, and like I said, it is an M390, which is great. Let's see how smooth it is here. Wow, very smooth. You guys see that drop shut? Yeah, very smooth. Which a lot of Twosuns are pretty dang smooth, I will admit. Now, one thing I thought was cool about this knife, it has a lot of holes that you can see here in the titanium on the clip side. That's allowing you to see behind it, and so he anodized the inside because these holes were here. Anodized it, a pretty cool finish as well. And yeah, this knife's pretty great. It does have a really weird lanyard hole here in the back. You see that little piece sticking out, but it doesn't interfere with the knife. It's very comfortable, and these fullers here are very comfortable to open the knife as well. Of course, you can use the flipper tab, which is also very comfortable, but the fullers are primarily how I'm going to open it. Now, M390 is not really susceptible to rust, but after the video, like I do with all my new knives, I'm going to put some knife shield on it, and I'm going to put some KPL on the loop and the pivot ball, even though this knife really doesn't need it. I'm going to do it anyway. So let's go ahead and get this knife to its top level of beauty. And the way that I do that, as I say in every video with titanium on it, I put a little Windex on a cloth, and I just rub the anodized titanium because, you know, his hands could have gone on it right after. You know, he always takes pictures of his knives and stuff right after he's done doing things with them. And this allows me to kind of show you guys what this knife looks like. Now, the disadvantage of doing what I'm doing here is this freaking cloth. These aren't the best cloths to use for this. I will admit that right now. But it gives the titanium the shiniest look that it can have here, and the rough finish of the titanium sometimes strips pieces of the cloth on there. Let's get a nice up close look at this finish. Oh man, yeah, look at that. Wow, it just changes in all kinds of lights. You guys hear some noise in the background. That's my daughter being home from school today. She's okay. She just had an allergic reaction at school, which is something that's been occurring. There's the back. It's kind of more of a matte finish on the back, except back here where the back spacer is. He did kind of a fade in from purple to green on the back spacer. That's cool. Never noticed that in the picture with the kind of gold trim outline. And then let's go ahead and index this side as well, because to be honest, this knife has a different look to it in a way on both sides. It has a similar look, similar and different, if that makes sense, which I do like that. Colin's work still continues to amaze me, and hopefully you guys are amazed with his work as well. In order to get a hold of him, you just go on Facebook and type in Colin's Crazy Creation. I guess he has his email in there as well, but the easiest way to contact him is on Facebook. That's the quickest way to get a hold of him. He answers pretty fast, so. But yeah, let's look at this side too. I love that it goes through. I hope this is showing up as good on camera as it does in here. I always like where my seat is here, because what I'm showing you, you can see the kind of shine. That's from outside. And some knives look better in more natural lighting, and some knives look better in kind of inside lighting. And sometimes it just looks different in both. And I like letting you guys see what the knife is going to look like in both settings. And on the bottom, you can see he anodizes every little thing that he can. In this case, the only thing that wasn't titanium was the screws and probably the barrel spacers, which you can't even see, right? Another thing I love about a lot of the Twosun models, and this one is no different, a lot of them, especially some of the most recent ones, even though this is the TS45, so I wouldn't say that's recent, but a lot of the Twosun models have very minimal hardware. Like the show side, you literally see one screw, and that's it. I mean, of course you see where the pivot is, but don't even have a screw. And then on this side, you know, you have the screw there, and then, you know, a screw because it's a frame lock, and that's it. Very minimal hardware. Now you can see inside the knife, it has two spacers, one up front and one in the back to also help keep it together. That's what those are for. But yeah, wow, this knife is awesome. Now his anodizing service, and as far as I know, it depends how much work he does. This is probably the most work he's ever done on a knife for me. He has done a budget Twosun for me that I've shown on the channel before, the blue and gold one. And that one cost about $200, including the cost of the knife. This one here, the anodizing, was about $180 for all this level of work, but I'm gonna say on average he costs between $120 to $150, right? So if you want this level, this is like top level, okay? He has went a little bit extra, I think, for this, for somebody else that wanted like craters or something spelled or something like that, and I can't fully remember off the top of my head. But if you're looking for this level of work, you'll be paying the upper price. I remember him saying he also had a hard time with these pivot colors, but man, I'm glad he got them off, right? That purple's beautiful with this knife. Man, this knife is so awesome. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. This is probably going to be too much for some people. This is probably the most colorful knife in my collection, and it also is probably the craziest finishing done to any knife in my collection. But yeah, that'll be it for this unboxing today, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.